Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video. Hi, I'm Speeder. Okay, it has been a very long time since I last filmed a Keeper of the Movies video. I've mostly been focusing on making a backlog for Keeper of the Games, so Keeper of the Movies backlog hasn't really been happening, and I'm trying to reread a bunch of series so I can make more videos for Keeper of the Books. So that's fun. Anyways, yeah, so today is September 2nd, 2022. Man, it's been a while. I started a TikTok, I started a Skyrim playthrough, started school again, just the works. Also, I have my own room now, so I'm now filming in here because I have my own space where I can actually film things. Technically, I do have a background, but it's completely blocked out. The bookshelf was supposed to be a background, but I'm kind of in the middle, so maybe there's something I can do to fix that, but I don't know. The bookshelf's kind of small, so. Anyways, so today I am here. Also, I forgot to say this. I'm thinking about trying to upload twice a week for Keeper of the Movies, just like I do for Keeper of the Games, because there are so many shows and movies that I want to get through that I just don't know if I'm gonna have time. I'll be like graduated from high school and doing whatever it is I'm doing after high school by the time I get through all of the books and series that I currently have planned. So twice a week sounds good to me. Instead of 4 times a month, 8 times a month. That way I can get through these videos a lot quicker, but in order to do that, I would need to make a pretty massive backlog. Hopefully one that lasts till the end of the year, like I'm trying to do for Keeper of the Games. So I'm trying to make a lot of that backlog today, if I can. Not all of it, but there's literally no way I can make all of it today. What's that like? I don't even know, because I'm not looking at a calendar and I don't know how many Saturdays are in each month. I know there's approximately 4, but sometimes there's more, sometimes, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm here today to talk about The Dragon Prince, Season 3, Episode 6, Thunderfall. I tried making a review video on this a couple months back, but I never got around to the actual filming part, and I couldn't really remember everything that I had written down. And I honestly don't know where the paper went, and even if I looked at the paper, I'm not sure I would remember all the thoughts I had, so I just rewrote the entire thing. So here's my review of Dragon Prince Season 3, Episode 6, Thunderfall. This video will contain spoilers for the first 2 seasons of Dragon Prince and at least the first 6 episodes of Season 3. I'll try to avoid spoilers for future episodes and future seasons. And oh my gosh, we have confirmed Dragon Prince Season 4 coming out this November. I am extremely excited. Not only do I have Owl House in October, Dragon Prince in November, Keeper of the Lost Cities Book 9 in November. I have so much stuff coming out in October and November, it's insane. Needless to say, I am excited for next month. And especially November. There's so much coming out and happening in November, it's insane. So, including my 2-year YouTube anniversary for Keeper of the Books. November 12th, 2022, 2 years on YouTube. I think that's pretty cool for me. Man, it's weird. It's almost been 2 years. And I'm only on Dragon Prince Season 3, Episode 6. Oh gosh. I guess I have filmed quite a few MCU reviews as well. And this one's the one that I started last. But anyways, yeah. So, I think it's time to get into this. Like I said, spoilers will be included. This is a spoiler review. One thing I do kind of want to do for season 4, though, I don't know if I'll do it, but I might have initial reactions, possibly. I might do that on my TikTok, which is at Keeper of the Books 638 on TikTok. So if you want to check that out, you can look that up. And when season 4 comes out, I think I might do some initial reactions. I won't show the screen or anything, but I may do some initial reactions. So, yeah, we'll see about that. Anyways, I definitely could not do that for YouTube. But TikTok, maybe. Maybe. Okay, so, let's get into it. So, we start out with just this big scene of all these 4 armies together. I think it's 4 armies, all marching on Zadia. It's like a huge force. So then we go back to the gigantic, I don't remember the name of it at this point. Ambler, I think, was the name of it. With Nyx, Callum, Rayla, and Zim. So we have this adorable moment where Callum and Rayla have fallen asleep next to each other, and just like slumped over on each other's shoulders, and it's adorable, and I love them, and they're one of my favorite ships. So we have, so Nyx comes up to them, she's like trying to wake them up, and Zim is just like pounces and is like super overprotective, which makes complete sense after what Nyx did in the last episode. I just love that he's so indifferent to Nyx, and he's like, this entire episode, or at least the few minutes where Nyx is in the episode, and he's just so overprotective of Callum and Rayla, and I love it, and I love Zim, and he is the most adorable tiny creature I've ever seen. But anyways, so they have finally reached the end of the Midnight Desert. And Nyx kind of gives a recap of everything she did in the last episode. She conned them, betrayed them, various other interesting things. And she's like, no tip? And ends up giving them a tip saying that the air can get thin on the Dragon Spire, or whatever it was called. Basically the huge mountain where the Dragon King Queen's lair resides. Which may be important later, we shall see. Yeah, so I wrote, Zim hates her, which is accurate. Yeah, I think the Callum, Rayla, Ezran storylines in this episode are a little more minor storylines. They aren't the main story of this episode, but we'll get to the main story in a minute. So then we cut to Ezran and Bate, who are riding on Fifi. Ezran thinks that she's getting tired, and thinks that she should rest. She's like, no, I want to keep going. Obviously she doesn't say this like in English, but we know that Ezran can talk to animals, which is so very convenient. And she insists on keeping on going. So then we go to that huge army marching on Zadia, and Soren just has like this look of determination on his face, and he's like about to like secret karate chop the bug on Viren's head, which resonates with me because I just walked into my room and I'm in front of a window right now, which is probably why the lighting in here sucks, even though the window's only like slightly open, so I can have the camera sitting on the windowsill. But I go to lift up the blinds to put the camera on, and this thing just flies in my face. I'm not sure if it was a mosquito or like a queen ant or something. I think it was an ant, which concerns me a lot. I'm actually going to check this box of food really quick to make sure there are no ants in here. One moment. Okay, I don't think there are any ants in there. But anyways, so yeah, I just walk in my room and there's this, like, I pull the blinds and there's like this ant. I think it was an ant. It might have been a mosquito because there were also like a bunch of mosquitoes in the house recently, which I've had to kill several of. But I just kept trying to smush it with this paper towel because like it was starting to like dig into the corners of my windowsill, trying to like hide, and I didn't have a fly swatter, so I was trying to get it with this paper towel, and I thought I had smushed it like several times, and then I went to like get it out of the crack so I could tell, and it just kept flying in my face. It was the most resilient creature I have ever met. It was like a freaking cockroach. It wasn't a cockroach, but it was just so hard to kill. I had to get it out of the crack and just like smush, 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 and I just like crumple it in my hands and had to like look at the guts. I'm sorry, this is like concerningly descriptive. I had to like look at the guts and make sure that it was dead, and then squeeze it again, and then throw it in the garbage because I'm not gonna flush paper towels down the toilet. If it wasn't a paper towel, I would have definitely flushed that thing down the toilet. Or maybe not, because if it was still alive, I don't want to think about that. Okay, I'm sorry. I guess that's our side rant of the day, number 1. Anyways, yeah, I really resonate with Soren's want to kill this bug. But Viren stops him, and says that he does not want Soren to kill the purple creature, he says. I think it's a bug. And Soren also thinks it's a bug. He's like, ah, so it's your little bug pal. And Viren's like, yes, he is my little bug pal. Every time I see that purple bug thing, I can only call it the little bug pal now, after seeing that scene. I don't know why. It's just, I can't think of it as Erebos or Erebos' familiar or Viren's familiar or anything like that. I'm sorry, the lighting right now is like really bad. I'm gonna see if I can fix that. Does that help? I'm not re-recording this. It's not being re-recorded. That's not happening. I will cut that out. That will be cut out. Frick. Anyways, Speeder, why didn't you check the lighting properly before you started this episode? I don't know, Speeder. That's still really bad lighting. I need like a lighting setup or something. I still can't not believe that I just said my name on camera. It's been a very long time since I made that mistake. And I'm out of practice. Well, that will need to be cut out. But, yeah, okay. Good fun. What time is it? 14:45. So that means it's a little bit before that I need to cut out. Okay. Well, let's move on. I know I can get that out. Okay, so Erebos shows up and asks Viren to tell him how he killed Avazandum, aka Thunder. Viren is confused for a second, not knowing what Erebos is talking about because he always called him Thunder, didn't know his real name, but he reveals that Avazandum is the true name of Thunder, the previous Dragon King. So, Viren gives a recap of the flashbacks in Season 2, those two-parters that had the flashbacks about Queen Sorai's death, And then we go into full-blown flashback mode. We have Harrow is playing hide-and-seek with Ezran and Bait. And in this moment, I can't tell if Harrow actually knows where Bait is or if he's, like, genuinely confused. Because there's, like, no way that you wouldn't feel Bait on your head or getting on your head. So I'm sure he does know where he is, but I was a little confused about that. Like, does Harrow know where Bait is? I don't know, that's a weird thing to notice, but that's just what I noticed. I don't know. So then Viren shows up, and he needs to have a conversation with Harrow. And there's like this weird moment where Ezran is taking Bait out of the room in his arms, giving Bait like no choice to stay or anything like that, and is like, "Come on, Bait." Like Bait had a choice to go with him. I don't know, I just keep like noticing these like weird nitpicky things that just like bother me a little bit, and I keep bringing them up. And I'm sorry that if these will bother you forever. But yeah. Anyways, so Viren says that he's discovered a spell that could create the ultimate weapon of vengeance, because he thinks that Harrow wants to avenge Sarai's death and kill Abzandam, which I guess Harrow partially does, but partially doesn't wish to do. Obviously he does hate Abzandam, but he has his reasons for not wanting to kill him. So we go to like what looks like Harrow's quarters or something like that, and Viren says that he had captured Sarai's final breath, and in that previous flashback episode there was a moment where he says that he was there when Sarai took her final breath, which was very emphasized, and I guess this is why it was emphasized. Man, the lighting in here is still really bad. I need to do something to fix that. Okay. So Viren says that he was unable to get one of the rarest components, which I feel like wouldn't be the rarest component. I feel like the final breath would be the rarest component. But he says he was unable to get the rarest component, which was the horn of a unicorn, but Claudia was able to get the horn of a unicorn, which was vital to the spell. Viren also needs the blood of someone who's has undying vengeance of someone who loved the victim, which would be Harrow. So Harrow's hesitant to do this at first because he feels that there is peace and that the kingdom is prospering, that Callum and Ezran are growing up, and he wants to see that, and he doesn't want war. And Viren says the exact right thing, convinces Harrow to go through with it. And he says that Sarai should have seen Callum and Ezran grow up, and that they should have had their mother. Viren is so manipulative and crafty, it's absurd. Yeah. But anyways. So he then gives Harrow a needle, and the fateful moment happens when he pricks his finger and the blood goes down the unicorn horn, and they make a spear of ultimate destruction, basically. Ultimate weapon of vengeance, as I love people. I don't know if y'all heard that, but that was the loudest. What was that, like a motorbike or something? Just went down my street. I have my window open. That was very loud. Okay. Yeah. So Viren does the spell and makes the weapon. I then wrote the note. Oh. mom's home. Okay, so I then wrote the note, Soren is a precious idiot, which is very true. He is my favorite, and he can be not the most intelligent child on the planet, but he is very nice, and I love him. I mean, he's not nice in the first season, but I do love him. And I wrote Noodaludlia, referring to the interaction that Soren had with Prince Kasif, which is like basically the definition of not being able to understand someone's accent, which Kasif doesn't really have that bad of an accent. Ezran thinks that his kingdom is Noodaludlia when it is really Neolandia. Oh my gosh. That stupid bike. No, it's an ATV. It's an ATV. Okay, yeah, so Ezran, we cut back to Ezran. So Ezran has finally made it to Zadia, but he's worried about Fifi because she kind of like falls to the ground. But she says that she has to see this through, but of course Ezran is still very worried. So then we go back to the marching armies. Kasif is like, your brother is very quirky to Claudia, and she's like, most people say I'm the quirky one. Now their entire family is like really weird, but especially Claudia and Soren. She does like this little thing, and Soren tells Kasif about the little bug pal. And in my mind, I wrote this down. I think Kasif is like, in his mind, y'all are weird. And then he just like goes back slowly. So I wrote, back away slowly. That was a great moment. I was actually in a creative writing class the other day, and we're in a fairy tale unit, and my group read Cinderella, like the original Cinderella tale. And you know, there's this part in the original Cinderella tale where, or I guess in the Grimm Brothers version of Cinderella, where, like, the stepsisters, one of them cuts off her toe, one of them cuts off a part of her heel. And we were talking about, like, descriptive moments that helped us picture the scene. And one of them was, like, blood seeping onto... I don't remember what it was. Was it stockings or something? And my creative writing teacher, in a joking manner, was like, here, allow me to demonstrate. I just need a foot and a sock. And someone gets up. One of the kids gets up on the other side of the room, and she's like, oh, and I'll also need a pair of scissors or a knife. And he just like, yes, he was already planning on sitting back down, but right after she says that, it's this really funny moment where he just is slowly sitting back down as if he's changing his mind. I don't know. It was a very funny moment, but yeah, it just kind of reminded me of that. So, back in the flashback, because Erebos has asked Viren to continue. They discover that Avazandum is not at the border. Viren thinks that he's protecting something more important. As we know that he's protecting the egg, which will eventually become Zim. Let's see. So, they find Avazandum at the home of the Dragon King and Queen. I'm just wondering how they got through the Midnight Desert. Like, did they go around the Midnight Desert, or did they go through? I'm just wondering. Because they said it took them a couple days or something, but I don't know. Okay. So, Avazandum tells them that they have one chance to leave because it is a day of life, and he does not want it to make it to a day of death. Viren's eyes widen because he clearly has figured out what exactly Avazandum is protecting. The egg. Which we'll come back to later. Gives him one final chance, but Harrow rejects it because he never gave Sarai that chance. So he attacks. Viren uses dark magic to slow down Avazandum, but his nose starts to bleed and he collapses. Then Harrow throws the spear directly at Avazandum's, I guess, his heart, probably. But I noticed this one little thing when he threw the spear that felt deliberate, because it's an animated show, so it's gonna be deliberate. And I don't know what it was, but when he threw the spear, there was this, it was almost like an echoing scream, and it kind of sounded like Callum, but I know it wasn't Callum. Maybe it was Sarai, maybe it was something else, I don't know, but it felt like this, piercing scream, just kind of like an echo of his piercing scream just happened as he threw the spear. I don't know what it was, but I found it interesting. So Avazandum reaches towards his home and, of course, his egg as he's turned to stone. And he sheds one final tear. I don't care much for Avazandum, but I did cry in this moment. Every time I watch this, I do cry a little bit when I watch this. And, yeah. But anyways, so Viren thinks that Avazandum was protecting his egg, and he wants to destroy it. Harrow disagrees at first, says that it's going too far, but Harrow says that this dragon that will be born will want vengeance on Harrow, which kind of makes sense, actually. Zim probably would have had vengeance on Harrow eventually if he hadn't been taken. But yeah, Harrow agrees in the end. Viren heads off, and that is the end of this flashback. So then we go back to Callum, Rayla, not Raylum. I ship it, but no. Callum and Rayla and Zim, or Raylum and Zim, I guess, have reached the Turn to Stone Avazandum. And then Fifi shows up. So then we go back to the marching army, and I noticed this weird thing when they were doing the kind of pan out shot, where the marching of the soldiers is just it's very deliberate. I don't know, it kind of weirded me out. It was kind of robotic, I guess. Erebus reveals that he has a history with Avazandum, and that Avazandum was the one who imprisoned him. Viren was not aware that Erebus was imprisoned, but Erebus says that he was imprisoned. And Kasef comes with the news that the breach has been destroyed. But Claudia brings the horn of a dragon that she got in Season 2, and says a redoing of the line in Season 1, impossible is just another kind of possible. It says, impassable is just another kind of passable. So then we go back to Callum and Rayla and Zim. We get this whole reunited thing with Callum, Rayla, Zim, Bait, and Ezrin. And they have this adorable hug, which I love. It was so cute. But Callum is so worried about Ezrin, and I love it. It's adorable, and that's great. But Fifi, unfortunately, collapses. Ezrin is really sad because she had told him that she could make it all the way. So she burns up, and that's when reminded that she is a phoenix because she turns into a feather, and Ezrin says, quote, when the time is right, she will be reborn. I'm sure that will happen eventually. So, then we have this moment where Viren takes this horn of the dragon and has like this creepy parting of the Red Sea kind of thing, where parts of the lava, and Erebos just kind of like come through to safe, like an invitation. And so the army runs into Zadia at a full run. So then we go back to the gang. Callum says that he doesn't know how to feel because Avazandum was the one who killed his mom, but he is also Zim's dad. And Rayleigh gives this whole speech about how those guys are going to be the ones to break the cycle. Ezra and Zim. They will break the cycle. And then we have this adorable hand-holding, heads-on-head thing from Rayleigh, which I love. I always have to point out all their moments, and it was adorable. And then that was the end of this episode of The Dragon Prince, Season 3. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really need to pick up these games. This one had a lot of weird side rants, and I do need to cut out the part where I accidentally say my name. But anyways, that is the end of this review. This is a very good episode that I very much enjoy. I love flashback episodes. I love backstory episodes. But before I end, I need to tell you my next 4 videos for all of my channels, or I guess my next 4 weeks worth of videos for all of my channels. And then I have a quick couple of announcement things. So for this channel, the next 4 episodes should be the rest of my Dragon Prince review videos, which should be episode 7, 8, and 9. I don't remember what my next video is. I know it's a Dragon Prince bonus episode thing, but I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but there will be a bonus episode for Dragon Prince in about 4 weeks. For Keeper of the Games, we'll have the next 8 episodes of my Skyrim partially blind playthrough, which I have a backlog that lasts to the end of this month, I think, and I think a little bit into October. But anyways, as for Keeper of the Books, I don't know if there will be any videos this month for Keeper of the Books, but we will see. I said that I had a couple announcements. I do. So the next show that I will be covering after The Dragon Prince will be Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is one of my all-time favorite shows. Following that will be The Legend of Korra, the sequel to Avatar. And then I will be covering The Adventures of Merlin, a BBC show, which was my entire childhood, and I'm in love with it, and I want to go over it because I feel like it's not talked about enough. And after that, I will either be doing She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, or The Owl House. We'll see. I'm going to also try to do 2 videos a week in the future. Still going Saturday, possibly Tuesday videos or Thursday videos? Not Monday, but Tuesday or Thursday maybe. We will see about that, but for now, that is all I have for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.